Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to demonstrate another capability through which we can actually run performant queries within Snowflake and how to even ensure that we do certain things in a very right way, right? So in this video, I'll give you two scenarios wherein we often claim those scenarios under join explosion, Cartesian joins, or row explosion, right? So what does it actually mean, right? So over here, if you see this, I'm trying to run a simple query. So this is a simple query which I'll be joining, my orders and my line item table, which with joining key being order key, and again the same order key is present in the line item table also, right? So when I am executing it, right? So let's see what happens when I execute this query, right? I'll see certain metrics coming out as an output of this query, and this query got executed in 2.2 seconds, right? And when I'm seeing this query profile of this query ID, I will also note certain parameters, right? So let this query profile open up. So we see this query profile has opened up. From this, from left side panel and from right side panel, we see there are certain number of records being read, so like 4 records. From here there is 17 records, and while doing this particular join operation, it just fetched 17 records and it gave me an output, right? Now imagine I am going to execute the similar query. If you see this, right, the similar query, just that I will not add this particular condition as joining key. Okay, now if I'm going to execute the same kind of query, not by having the joining key as my condition. Now let me see, or let us see rather, what happens to this query, right? Earlier instances, what we saw was the query got executed within, I'll say that 3 seconds. But for here, you see that the query is still running, right? And it is taking time to give the output, right? Even though what happened was the number of table is same and probably the number of records are same. The only thing which was missing was the joining condition, right? And this is exactly where the query took a lot of time. Okay, now over here, if we see the query profile, right? Now what will happen, a very interesting thing will happen over here, right? So over here, if we see, the number of records being read was 4. From right side, the number of records was around 6 million, but this is exactly where it caused an issue. The total number of records, it became 24 million, right? So this is where the join explosion or your exploding join, it has happened on the similar pattern of query. And Snowflake kind of even gives us that hint, right, with it mentioning in the query profile to be as Cartesian join. So these kind of queries we should actually avoid running in the platform, right? In this way, what will happen is we will end up kind of consuming more credits, and we might not get the consistent result also, right? So let us give another scenario. Let's take another scenario in which the same thing will happen, right? Over here, if you see, right, my joining condition is there, but just that the column on which I am joining is no more a key column, right? It is actually a column which is expected to have the redundant values or the duplicate values, right? Now, if I execute this query also, right, we will see what happens next, right? I mean, in terms of the total execution time, in terms of whether it also falling under the category of that Cartesian join or explosion join or explosive joins, right? So there are various terms which we usually give in such, kind of patterns of queries, right? Now let's see the query profile over here, right? Now what was happening was we just changed the joining condition, right? Over here also, if you see this, it also did a kind of, it multiplied the total number of, records, even though it is not that much, but it is still kind of maybe multiplying the left and the right values, and kind of trying to kind of create more number of records, right? And that is exactly why it took a lot of time. So these are the kind of pattern of queries which we should avoid to ensure that we do not run or probably avoid wherever we see the join explosion or Cartesian join or row explosion within Snowflake, right? So the best case is you always have to, give your keys, and the keys has to be unique, and you do not just run any join queries without, giving the keys, and always ensure that we do the analysis of the queries via query profile. In this way, we will be ensuring that we, keep our credit limit, at a particular, threshold, and ensure that we get the maximum value out of this platform. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching this video.